how on earth do you balance having a life, maybe even children, obligations, relationships with anyone who isn't yourself, and the most important thing of all, video games? Hi, I'm Chris Meekins fan. I don't have answers to those questions, but hopefully one of these people who with me today do, especially since none of us have a kid for that point. We have Justin. Hi, Justin. JTAR9. Hello.
JTAR9. How's it going, everybody?
He's like a Pokemon. He says his name back to it. I have Sean Wolf Chaos on with me. Hello. Hello.
Hi. I don't think I have any kids.
You didn't say Pokemon back. Hi, Moriarty. At really cool.
Hello. I'm very well happy to be here.
These Pokemon names are too long. Boys,
They are.
I say you three have lives outside of a computer, and I glued myself to the seat. It's very awkward when I do have to leave the house, but I mostly just kind of sit here, and I have all the time in the world for my hobbies. So that's my intro to this discussion. Lately, I've tried to have a life outside of the computer, though, and do a weird thing called getting in touch with myself. And I found that when you go places and try to make room for things like eating better or working out or going on walks for cardio, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not a lot of time in the day, as it turns out, when you start factoring in all these things in a job. Justin, you don't play video games anymore.
It's been tough. It's been really, really tough.
When you do find time for a video game, how much you been gaming?
So
the
way that I try and sneak my video games in are through like the little games that I like to play on like the daily basis. So the things that have those daily objectives to do every day. M got me back into Fortnite recently, so that's another one that's been added to the list.
Hey,
really?
Yeah, they put the new Avatar stuff in there, and I've been really excited about that. I love Avatar. But the way I try and sneak my hobbies in on a day-to-day basis, because there are some days where I am working from 9 a.m. to 11 p.m. and I go back to bed and I get up and do it the next day. You kind of just have to. It's tough. It's tough.
Yeah.
But you kind of try and take those little parts out of your day and really try and say, no, I'm going to do this today. And whether that be for me playing some Pokemon TCG Live on my phone, whether that be playing a little bit of Fire Emblem Heroes, something like that, just to get like something going on, like that gets me happy throughout the day. And then once I have that hit, I'm good to go until the next day. And that's how I try and do it. And the other thing is I try and like create the little guide at the end of the tunnel where like tomorrow I'm going to go take myself to the arcade because I haven't been able to go to the arcade in months. And that's something that I love to do and I haven't been able to do it. So tomorrow I get to have that little treat for myself.
So your answer is treadmill games, the ones where you just kind of do a little thing a day, never really reach an end.
Mm-hmm.
That's smart.
I mean, you kind of have to find one that you can turn on for 30 minutes and be okay with playing, you know?
Yeah.
Because I've been curious, because I know you were playing Persona 3 Reload, which I think came out at the end of January?
Beginning of February.
Beginning of February. And we're in mid-April as of recording, so I was curious how that had went for you.
I am literally 12 days away. The game works on like a day cycle. I'm 12 days away from finishing the game. I have not beaten it yet. I've beaten the game before already, so I know what the ending is, but it's just been sitting there since I've been so busy. And with a game like Persona, I want to sit there and play it for 2-3 hours.
Yeah.
That's why I kind of feel like I need to have some of those treadmill games to kind of just say, hey, you get this at the end of your workday. You get a little, hey, you get to play some video games, and then you get to go to bed and then go back to the daily grind.
Yeah. That's what I've been doing with like Madden or even like Helldivers. Play a game or two and then just go about the rest of my day. Because I'm like, all right, I got this time to kill. I'll do the thing and then go do what I need to do. Usually.
Okay. Moriarty, what about you?
Boy, man, it's really difficult to like enjoy media anymore, isn't it? Because there's just so much of it. There's so much that's put out every month at least. You know, we've got new TV shows and new movies and a billion new games released. And, you know, on top of that, they're split up across all sorts of different platforms. So to have sort of a a breadth of experience in media and still do anything outside. You know, like I'm very much a foodie. I love to go and experience, you know, sort of Michelin type of experiences. And I like to go and have these, and like to go sit down for a multi-course meal at a Michelin restaurant. By the way, if you haven't, that's like 3 hours.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's like 2-3 hours because it's 6 courses and you have time in between each course. It's like because they're preparing the food fresh for you.
It's a process, and sometimes, you know, there are some restaurants that are famous for giving you like 30 courses. That's a long day. That's a day-long affair.
Yes.
Doing something like that, and then on top of, you know, your regular scheduled stuff of, you know, just daily life and errands and washing the car. I mean, there's so much stuff out there. And then to say, okay, now today I want to play a game. Well, I also got to watch the new Fallout season because we're going to do a spoiler cast on that. I got to watch the new Invincible season because we're going to talk about that. And I can't forget about watching this new movie. And Free Body Problem came out. That was interesting. I should probably see that. Oh, that reminds me of that TV show Bodies. I never saw that. Man, I should also watch. And it just gets so much, and there's so much out there. It's really, really hard to kind of like take in everything. So
yeah, it feels very like overwhelming because it's like there's so much to do that you don't know where to start.
Right.
Especially like because you were just talking about the Fallout series. I thought they were just doing like a weekly, you know, upload. Like, because I know they did like the first 2 episodes, and I was like, okay, they're probably just gonna do like weekly episodes like X-Men 97's do. And then they just drop the entire season, and it's like it's all there, which is great because people like to binge. But like I think the reason why like I like what X-Men 97's doing is you have to dedicate like, you know, 30 to 40 minutes to watch an episode, and I don't have to do anything else for the rest of the week until the next one.
It's difficult, and I don't know that there's any great, you know, solution. There are certainly strategies, but there's so much, right? Like I want to play Helldivers. Helldivers is the perfect example of, boy, please calm the dead, like just calm down. You know, just calm down.
Tiptoeing around the swear jar in that one.
You heard me tiptoeing around it. Just calm down.
I feel like every week, I haven't played it, but I feel like every week I'm seeing something where they're like, oh, get in, whatever the Helldivers call themselves. We have a new thing for you to come in and play, or a new thing experience, or there's a new battle pass. I'm like, this game feels like it's been out for 3 weeks. Like, how is there already this much going on with the game?
There's so much. So here's the thing, right? Because I feel like this explains how much content there is out there. The game came out in February, the first week of February. It is currently, as of recording, the second week of April. So if you put that together, it's 8 weeks. There are 4 battle passes out, and they have had, I think 3 major war events, right? Like major war events that have changed the map. It's been 8 weeks. It's been 8 weeks. There have been times where it's been like, hey, we're doing this new major order. And then by the time I log in, that next day, it's already been completed.
Mm-hmm.
Like Helldivers is a perfect example of please, dear God, please, all I ask of you is just give me some time. Give me some time.
Are the battle passes like intensive, or are they like real short ones, I wonder?
They're not intensive, you know. It's like 200 or 300 medals, which is like
you just have to.
You get 3 to 5 medals per mission, so it's not easy, quick, super fast. Like you're gonna be playing a lot to get that.
That sounds like at least 2 hours a day.
Yeah, Helldivers really does become your only game if you want to be that, and I get it. You know, some people are. So apparently, you could continue to get experience after you reached level cap. It just didn't give you levels. So there are some people who were already at level cap, and then they've already raised level cap once, Chris.
Yeah.
They've raised the level cap once, and people were instantly at level cap again.
Yeah,
because you could continue gaining experience. You could continue banking your experience. So they raised the level cap, and people were already at level cap.
My main point of reference is Apex, and I remember it took like a year or two for them to go past level 100 on Apex. So that is that hurts my head to think about. I don't like that.
It's too much. It's too much, right? And I'm like level 16. Okay, so like for anybody out there who is playing this, they're like, newbie, huh? Right? Like, and I don't know.
Maybe.
I've put in 40 hours.
Yeah, I was gonna say like, level 16 is like a 40-hour like playthrough.
Like I haven't not put in time.
Yeah,
but
Okay.
I don't have that kind of time. So that's the sort of thing, right? How do you fit your passions into this sort of a busy life? How do I play this game? How do I play Helldivers and play Fortnite and play Dave the Diver and try out Content Warning and try out Lethal Company and, Battlefront 2 just got released for $1.50. I always wanted to figure out blah, blah, blah. Like, how do I do this? How do I go play the new Forgive Me Father 2? And how do I play? I want to try out Phasmophobia again, right? Like it's super God. It's so much, and it just keeps weighing on you. And how do you deal with that? And so I kind of want to talk about that, right? I don't want to just harp on the fact that there is too much, because I think there is too much, right? It's Disney Plus putting out so much crap, and oh my God, there's so much. How do you keep up with the Marvel stuff? How do you keep up with Star Wars? Thank God Marvel's terrible now, so I can just cut that out.
I know how
there
you
you
don't.
go.
Right, exactly.
Like me,
You just don't do that anymore, and you have to. And I think that's the goal, right? Because if I had a single strategy for how to do this, it's careless.
Yeah.
It really is just, I started realizing, and I don't want to bogart this because I'll throw it off to you guys immediately after.
Okay.
But I realized that what I have to do is be really surgical and incredibly ruthless about my time. If something doesn't appeal to me really quickly, like, if I throw on a new show on Prime or Paramount or any of this crap, right? And it doesn't hit me immediately, right? If I'm watching that first episode and I'm not going, oh, this is, I'm intrigued. I'm going to cut it out, and I'm never going to give it a second chance. I'm just never going to give it a second chance.
That was a harrowing thing getting into Fortnite last season, right? When they dropped the racing game and the music game and everything. I was kind of getting into the Fortnite ecosystem, enough to have like completed the battle pass even. And like halfway through, I was just hitting a point of like, man, I don't have time for any other game in my pursuit of like completing the battle pass here, right? Like I was doing the racing game for stuff. I was doing the stupid XP grind trick where you just idle in the free jam session game mode or whatever that is. And
sure. Yeah.
I just increasingly had no time for other video games at all. And I was like, I guess this is the end goal for a game like Fortnite, is you just don't play any other game. You just only play Fortnite, the experience of Fortnite.
Whole experience. Yeah.
Yeah. And I was just kind of like, I guess the future is everyone just playing Fortnite and all the stuff in it and slowly easing out of everything else in the world, because I don't know how you juggle a real life and then Fortnite and then a Helldivers, right? Or anything else. I in the pursuit of every game wanting more and more of your time, that's increasingly dwindling. Where does that leave everything else?
And not only that, a lot of the games that you guys are mentioning are games that are best played with friends. So now how do you get your friends to find the same time that you have free now that you can now go and queue together? Like how many times have I been in the Crub server and Nico or M or Kevin or somebody is asking, hey, can we play Helldivers tonight? And then just radio silence.
Yeah, no one's around. Yeah.
Because nobody's around. And it's just like, when you get a game that demands so much of your time and you want to play more of it, but you have other things to do and it's better played with friends, at what point do you kind of have to make some concessions to one thing or the other? Yeah.
Yeah. That was something that like I really struggled with for a very long time. So for years I kind of, and still now, I dealt with a lot of ADHD paralysis where I would like sit down and be like, I need to edit, I need to do this. And I wanted to do something else. I'm like, no, I need to do this. I know I need to do it. And I would just sit there and try to force myself to do something that I don't want to do or couldn't do because paper brain. And in turn, it would make me kind of waste a day because I wouldn't get anywhere with what I was doing. And also I wasn't enjoying the things that I had to enjoy. And I would kind of repeat that cycle over and over again. And it was very, honestly, disheartening because I was just kind of losing those days, losing that time. Because yes, I had to do the things I need to do, but I wasn't able to really enjoy my day in general because I wanted to focus so much on what I had to, edit or write or voice record, that everything else fell to the wayside. And then I eventually wasted the day away. I'm like, man, I could have spent today actually just doing something that I wanted to do. And it took me a while to kind of allow myself to enjoy things, even if I had something to do. And it was something that I had to train my brain to do, because I would feel guilty if I wasn't doing what I was supposed to do. Like, I would put on, like, say, I don't know, we were talking about Persona 3 Reload. Like, I was playing a little bit of that earlier this year, and I was like, man, I just have, like, at least another 30 minutes of audio recording. I can just do that real quick, and then I can do the rest of this week in Persona 3. And I just would feel guilty that I was still playing Persona 3 until eventually I was like, you know what? No, this is something I want to do. I'll do it until a certain time. Mm-hmm. And if I still want to keep doing it, I'll keep doing it. But my end cut is 8 p.m. That is my end cut, and then I'll see how I'm feeling from there. And so it took me a very long time to just allow myself to enjoy things. And that's also kind of like how I got into the gym also. I've always enjoyed the gym, but like finding time out of my day to go to the gym for like an hour and a half, 2 hours, so difficult. But what I started to do to kind of like hype myself up is I would like make playlists. I made like a playlist to like go on the treadmill, or like whenever I'm doing certain weights and whatnot. And I even asked some friends to send me stuff. So it's like, okay, send me this stuff. I'd see how long the playlist was. So I kind of like put that into account. Like, okay, I have like 45 minutes. So, once I'm done doing whatever, I'll go to the gym, 45 minutes, listen to this playlist, and then go home. And so it was just trying to find like ways. Hi, Mocha. Trying to find ways to like. She wants to play ball so bad. Someone else talk while she barks and I talk to her.
I think that schedule is really it, right? Like that's the thing. Prioritization and schedule. Chris?
Oh, I was just going to hop on to what Sean was saying. It's like, I know not everyone can relate to that, but that's definitely something I've been struggling with, like especially 100%. In the last year or so, is just like forgiving myself if I have a day where it's like, I need to do this, can't make myself do this. So I'm just going to do the thing that my mind wants to do right now, and I'm just going to allow myself to do it. And I guess that's been a part of my imbalance, where I have played more games for a while than I probably should have instead of doing other pursuits, right? But, it would just get to points where I just beat myself up all day and just feel miserable at the end of it. And it's like, man, not only did I not do the thing I needed to do, but I felt terrible for doing what I did. I'm trying to find the middle ground of at least, like, if I can't get there today, then I need to just let myself enjoy something and not think about the wasted potential of the day I just had. That at least needs to be a step I need to take in that, for sure.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, I hate it when I try and let myself enjoy something for a day, just because I need a day to actually do something for myself. And then I beat myself up about it because it's like, oh, you could have done 7 other things that would have been much more productive with your day instead of doing what you needed to do. And then when you get to that, you're like, okay, this day is for myself. I got to make it as jam-packed with everything as possible, with everything that I want to do, so I don't have to think about it the next day. And then you end up just not enjoying any of it because you're now looking at your enjoyment like a task to do.
Yeah.
And it just becomes... Oh, man.
I don't know that I identify with that at all.
No, really?
Yeah, I don't know that I identify with that at all. I don't know. I am not an anxious person. I don't really have anxieties. I'm pretty even keel all the time, right? Like
jealous.
So I have. I am often told by my partner that it's surprising that I have no traumas. So, like, there you go. I'm that normal person that just kind of doesn't exist.
There's a endorsement, yeah.
Right? Yeah. Like, so I don't have any anxieties like that. I don't experience them, and I don't sit there and like, oh, I should have done more or whatever. But I still have trouble finding time for things. And so for me, it's very much just making sure that I schedule them, right? And schedule the things that are important to me. So if I want to make sure that I'm getting out of the house and taking a walk, then it's going to be at 5:00 every single day. And once I make that schedule immutable, right? There's no, 15 minutes later, let me just finish this. No, it's 5:00 and I'm going to go do that. Once I do that,
Very
I find that it becomes, a healthier habit for me, and I look forward to achieving that thing. I don't know if maybe that's a strategy for some people. I say that, for me, I only work on because, I do my videos and stuff. I only work on them at certain days, at certain times. And outside of that, I do not work on my videos, right? I'm not going to do that. It doesn't matter. Today's not a day for that. And I know that because I get into, I don't know, a work mode where I become a little bit of a dick. And I'm very much, in my mode. And I get into that and I do what I need to do. And I feel that by having these sort of compartmentalized time periods and compartmentalized places in my house where I do these kind of things, I'm able to very much sort of, I don't know, enter into that mode, stay in that mode, feel that I'm completing my task, and then get out of it, right? Yeah. I don't take work home with me, as it were, because I'm not in that. And I think that's really important. There was a video, I want to say by CGP Grey years ago, about how to be in space, right? Because one of the big problems with being in space in a small, tiny little area, potentially for years of your life, is how do you not go insane?
Yeah.
Right? Like if you're on Mars and you're in a tiny little, habitat, how do you not go insane? And one of the things, and I want to say it's CGP Grey, but it could be somebody like him. One of the things that they talked about in this video, and I found it really interesting, I did a lot of research on it afterwards, is they create spaces that exist exclusively for certain purposes. So you have a workspace and you have a play space, and those are two separate areas, right? You never play in your workspace and you don't work in your play space, and you never ever eat in any of them because you have an eat space and you have, a sleep space. And when you separate out your sleep from your work, from your eat, from your play spaces, when you go into those, you enter into a very much, this is what I'm doing here, and I'm going to achieve my thing. I'm going to do this thing that needs to be done, and then that's it. So in your sleep space, you don't play, you don't eat, and that allows you to just go into your sleep space and sleep.
Yeah, that's what I've done, like, ever since I was little, is, like, my bedroom, I don't ever bring any food in there unless, like, I don't put food in there, I don't hang out in there. I just go in there, sleep, wake up, leave. That's what I do in there. I go in there, change clothes, what I need to do, leave. My biggest issue is, and I think this goes for a lot of content creators, is I have, like, all my gaming next to my PC so I can just, it. And that really I wouldn't say becomes an issue, but then it's like that desire to be like, you know what, I could play Final a little bit, and then you realize it's now 3 a.m. and you just keep it going. But it really, I agree with that fully. Like, having that space is really helpful. And I've kind of learned that too. Like, I have like my notes, like right over here, and like everything in front of me is just completely work related. So having that space, super helpful. Like, I fully agree with that. And yeah, no, I fully 100% agree.
I was gonna say, Em, you just explained with actual science and research that thing of people who always say, I can't do any work when my computer's in my bedroom.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of psychology behind that, actually.
It makes a lot of sense to me, at least.
It does.
And I feel that by doing that, I've managed to make it so that, the only thing I have that kind of crosses over is play and work, because I only have one computer and I can't really justify buying a separate computer for just a podcast and videos and stuff. I can't justify that.
Yeah. Not yet.
Right. Not yet. Eventually, I fully intend, this will be the work computer kind of thing.
And you can help Moriarty on that goal by liking this video on YouTube or rating us 5 stars if you're listening through podcast services. You can find us at crub.org for audio versions and Crub Official on YouTube if you'd like it through YouTube or YouTube Music or Podcast or whatever thing they haven't shut down this week. And you can go to patreon.com/Crub if you'd like more from us to support us. You can throw $5 at us and we'll split it 8 ways with fees, so we each get like 3 cents. It's great. We have all kinds of exclusive content on there, such as a public domain Dragon Ball movie watch along? Is that what that is? That's going up tomorrow?
Yeah, there is a public domain unofficial.
That's what it is.
But,
okay.
But also official.
official from Toriyama, rest in peace.
Yes, official from him, but they didn't get the licensing, so it's technically unofficial Dragon Ball live action film. It was the first live action film that they did ever, right? It was very live action, very good. It's incredible. It's fantastic. And we watched it, and you get to see Sean slowly lose his actual mind.
Yeah, no, it's bad. It's real bad.
Oh, it was a ride, man.
It was. Bad.
When I volunteered for that, I didn't expect that, but it was.
Neither did I.
So we have those. We have Mario parties. We have all kinds of spoiler cast. More personal discussions with us in music. We have Podcastamon, where Justin, I, and Kevin, who's not with us here today, we're going through the entire Pokemon anime. This plug is coming to an end. Don't worry, but lots of good stuff on there. I forgot this. Mute our stream here, which allows me to say that we do stream these live on twitch.tv/Crub_official. I think we're moving back to YouTube soon, so follow us on YouTube just to be sure.
Stay tuned.
Okay.
Follow it, and you can find all the information on Crub.org. You're good.
We got through that plug. I was going to say though, unintentionally, I think I started doing the separating spaces thing, at least with bed, because if I could share the most helpful tip relating to sleep I've gotten in a while is when you go down, lie down in bed, just close your eyes, don't have your phone on you, because I'm real bad about doing that. And when you wake up, immediately get out of bed. Don't be in your bed for any other reason than to sleep. Don't lay down there because you're tired during the day, because your mind starts slowly associating that space as a place to do things other than sleeping, and I feel like it just confuses you when you do actually go lay down to sleep. Sleep a lot better since I started doing that. Weirdly enough, the simple things people tell you to do that work do work, weirdly enough.
Sometimes
my bed is for sleeping only. That's it.
It's sometimes just to trick your brain to be like, you're here for one specific purpose, and that purpose is to do the thing that you are here to do, which is kind of what Em was talking about,
Yeah, my major pitfall was I'd wake up and be like, well, it's time to catch up on my X the Everything app timeline, because it's not Twitter anymore. And just go through all my social media stuff laying down.
And then lay there for like an hour, Yep,
before I know it,
I just see like what notifications I have on my phone. Is there anything? Do I need to make a phone call? Did I miss an appointment? No? All right. Let's just get up in rawdog reality at that
yes.
Why was that what you said?
No, he's right. Rawdog reality at that point.
Yes.
That's a t-shirt.
Let's raw dog reality, everybody. That's what you've got to do.
That's what you got to do.
I like that. They should sell that at Hobby Lobby on like a little sign.
I'm going to make that a t-shirt.
Put my face on there and make that a t-shirt.
Yes, I'm just going to put your face on there, and it's just going to say raw dog reality.
Raw dog reality.
I love it.
I have a query to pose.
Okay.
When you are trying to fit your hobbies into your daily life, do you weigh why you're doing the hobby that you're doing?
I'll like question the origin point of enjoyment entirely?
No. I'm saying like, do you weigh what you're going to do for your hobby that day based on how you're feeling?
Yeah.
Because like for me, I would rather watch a movie or watch a YouTube video certain days, and then other days I want to do something more active, like taking a walk.
Yeah, that goes into how I was talking earlier about like just trying to see how I feel that day. Like that's what I do. The only thing that like I have stuck to for the longest time until I tore my shoulder was the gym. I always went specific days. It didn't matter what time, just I had to go those specific days, and that was like the only thing I wouldn't change, because though the days that I didn't want to go to the gym were the days I needed. But yeah, it always depends on how I feel. But what about you, Chris?
Great question. I am really disorganized, and I'm a total mess of a human being. So for me, it's very impulse based, I guess. The one thing I've been trying to do recently is try to hit around 10,000 steps, at least most days of the week. That's been the thing I've been trying to do. So for me, it's less of like, do I want to walk today or do I want to do this? And more of like, for health reasons, I should probably actually walk now, even though I want to do something else more, is kind of my approach lately. But then once that hurdle has been cleared, I tend to be more of a creature of habit. And lately the habit has been YouTube videos, honestly. Like I'm still trying to get through FF7 Rebirth like a month and a half later. So, you know.
You're talking to me about Persona 3 and you're sitting over here doing the exact same thing.
Exact same boat with that game. Yeah, no, that was part of why I was curious, because I was like, man, I am literally at the final boss fight paused. I just can't beat like phase 6 of it because it's a ridiculous video game. But yeah, it's just one of those things where lately I've just kind of like, whatever feels comfortable at the moment is what I'm going to do just because I need to do that. Right. But soon I'll probably be trying to get some structure in and asking myself the question you're asking, just because it's real easy for me to just sit down and be like, I'll put on YouTube and catch up on the internet, you know, and then before I know it, I'm like, man, I could have played FF7 Rebirth. What am I doing with my life?
Well, I mean,
don't be like me, basically.
Don't be. Yeah, that's the mindset I try and get myself out of every single time I'm asking that question. Because every single time I'm like, man, I could just finish Persona 3 right now. I could just do it right now. But instead, I'm watching a YouTube video or something. Yeah. And it's like you can't like max out your enjoyment, like, and you can't optimize it or anything like that. You just can't do it.
And I say that even, you know, as a self-assessed hedonist, you really can't kind of always seek nothing but the, you know, because it doesn't work out that way, right? Like you have to live in the present, and you have to accept that we are living, changing beings who have, you know, whims. And if you disregard that and try and live too much, boy, you're just gonna eventually break, right? Like
I played Sims 4. I know what's up.
Yeah, you know.
Gosh,
exactly.
darn right you have.
If I'm too regimented, that's not going to work out for me.
Yeah. And if you're like, today I'm going to do this thing, and sometimes you just are like, well, I'm doing this out of obligation from some mental note in my head that said I'm going to do this thing today. I'm not actually enjoying it. Then are you really enjoying your hobbies that day? You're not really fitting it into your day. You're just doing it out of an obligation that you put yourself up to.
There's been plenty of opportunity, or plenty of a time in my life where I've been, you know, sitting there woken up 8 o'clock in the morning, and here's what I'm supposed to do this day. And I'm just like, you know what, man, I think I'm not going to do that thing, even though I've been planning it for 2 weeks. It's not hitting me. I'm not going to go do that thing today. You know, especially if it's not something that is like a one-time thing, right? Like a concert, I'm more likely to just kind of you know, barrel through and get it done.
Yeah.
Versus going to, like, I don't know,
Hobby
the
Lobby.
library, the Hobby Lobby, go do the Home Depot, you know, errand, whatever. I can absolutely Hobby Lobby. I would not go to why would you say Hobby Lobby?
It's just on my mind. I don't know.
Hobby Lobby. You think about Hobby Lobby all the time. You're sitting there and you're just like,
I know
what Hobby Lobby's doing today.
All right. Well, to get into it real quick, there's been a lot of TikToks showing up against my will about them getting a bunch of Bed Bath & Beyond stock from all those stores that shut down. And the Hobby Lobbyists are in turmoil because they're like, this isn't the store I love. And I'm sitting there like, why am I getting this? But now I know what's up with that. So that's why Hobby Lobby is what I went to.
The Hobby Lobbyists.
You have a finger on the pulse of the Hobby Lobby drama.
I know what America needs.
You do.
Vote for
and
me.
It's discount home decor and arts and crafts supplies.
Live, laugh, love on a swirly font on like a throw pillow. Like, who needs that? I'll hook you up.
You said swirly font. You know what they should do? They should make like a live, laugh, love swirly font inside a toilet.
It sounds like what you really need is some macrame.
And you just aim at which one you're feeling for the day.
Yeah. Are you living? Are you laughing? Or are you loving?
Awful. This is
It is awful.
What you've done here is almost certainly a real thing.
Oh yeah.
That's terrible.
Oh, there's someone out there who's thought. Actually, no, I don't think anyone.
There's someone out there who's going to make it now.
I think. This is an original thought. Yeah.
They're gonna send it to you too. They're gonna be like, "Here you go. I made it for you." If
someone sends me a toilet with that, I will. I have to.
They'll send you the thing that goes in it. Again, slightly.
I'll install that.
Slightly used.
It's like, well, yeah, you have to make sure it works. Like that. That's understandable. Yes. You do have to make sure it works. Gosh,
So-
I had a thing that I was bouncing. Oh, a thing. So you know how Justin, you're just ADHD.
Where are you going with this, Sean?
Trust the plan.
Sean,
Just trust me. But
Sean, you got this. I promise.
but you know how you were just talking about, days you're not feeling it, even though like the day before you're planning for something.
Yeah.
A thing that I do is like I have on my phone. I have 4 things that I like to do. I'll either draw that day, do some kind of music, whether it be on piano, drums, guitar. I'll do some coding, or I'll write. And I have like one of those just always on my phone. I have to do every day. Could be like for 20 minutes, an hour, doesn't matter. But my goal is to do at least one of those every day and just see how I'm feeling and just kind of go with that. So yeah, there's my only good thought after destroying everyone with live, laugh, love in the toilet. Yeah.
I think it's balanced out, and I think you've achieved a karmic neutral for that.
I think you've done
Don't
it.
lie to me.
So I'm going to throw another one out there because this is something that when this topic came across the table, this is like the thing that popped into my head immediately. Does anyone ever get into a spot where they're like, man, I want to do something to check one of those like shows or games that I wanted to watch off of my like list? Do you just forget everything that you wanted to watch that day? And you're just like, man, what was it that I wanted to watch? And then you end up going back to the same thing you've been doing for the past like 2 months.
Okay, so
I have that.
no, I don't. But that's because
Really? Okay.
I used to. All right.
Okay.
So now when I have when it comes to games, the only things installed on my computer are games I actively want to play. Everything else gets immediately uninstalled and then it disappears, right? It goes off into the ether and I never see it again because I have a very large Steam library and I'm not going to go through it. So it's only what's installed, right?
Mm-hmm.
If I buy something, I install it. If I buy a game, it gets installed. And as soon as I play it and I decide I'm done with it, whatever. If I decide I don't want it, it gets uninstalled and it's gone forever, right?
Mm-hmm.
Shows the same sort of thing. I keep a list. I have a Google Watch list, and I also have a justwatch.com list, and that's it. And once it's there, I click it off and I go through it. And again, I'm very, I don't know, ruthless about my time when I watch these things. So if I'm watching something and it doesn't hit me, I'm done with it. I will turn off a movie. I'm not Nico. I'm not going to sit there and play through all of Evil Within 2 when it gets bad. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to say my time is too valuable for this, and I'm never going to play it again. So
That's kind of
no,
the way you have to be about it.
But you're right.
Yeah. You have to value your time or else your hobbies won't.
right,
Yeah, no,
exactly. I value my time too much. That's really it. Is I value it so much that I'm not going to do that. Right. So like when I'm spending time hanging out with you guys, it's because I actually want to do that, and I'm choosing to put that above other things. Right. Because that's how it has to be.
I don't want to call
does.
you out, but I find that very funny because you were playing Minecraft during the pre-show.
Okay,
Yeah.
but
I just like
That's
constant
efficient,
click.
though, right?
It's efficient.
That's how you fit it in sometimes, you know?
yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean,
wanted to
there'll
play
be times.
Minecraft.
Yeah, like there'll be times where I'm on the Discord call and I'm over here playing Genshin or
Every
playing
night.
Doing that right now?
something like that. Not every night.
Mm.
Sometimes I get it in during the day.
Oh, hey,
you
good
should.
for you. Get it in where you can, you know?
Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. That's where I open the show. That's where I've come back to. You got to sneak it in whenever you can.
It does always come back to Genshin with some. That is true.
I don't know how. I don't know how.
Well, it's called addiction. Shall we discuss?
I
Actually-
I have another question. Not to talk about my addiction to Genshin.
Oh, okay.
Answer Genshin Impact? What?
Yeah, what's the question?
Is that the question?
That was the question to deflect.
Oh, I'm sitting here like
We're
what's
deflecting.
I'm like waiting
you
for
were-
it. I'm like,
Dramatic pausing that one. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
It was. We have to deflect now because
Well, it's
I
like
definitely
you're.
don't have a problem.
It's like
Yeah.
you're like, don't think of a blue elephant. It's like, well, now like all I can think of is you and Genshin
A
Impact,
blue
right?
elephant. Yeah.
yeah, on a blue elephant.
On a blue elephant.
Yeah, you're playing Genshin Impact on a blue elephant, trying to teach them how to play. You know how like they would like paint with their trunk and stuff. You're trying to teach them how to. I don't even know what you do in that game, honestly. I just know you can climb walls, and it kind of reminds people of Breath of the Wild.
Yeah. That's
all I
the
know.
main gameplay. But then sometimes they add new events, and it's pretty cool.
Well, that's good for them.
And there you go. The best ad you
Sometimes.
could ever get for Genshin Impact.
It's the antithesis of Helldivers too. You know, Justin's got time to actually experience the new events because they only had them once in a while.
Yeah,
Yes.
they're not very frequent. Like the current event is petting cats. I'm not joking.
Like, okay, so
You just pet a cat.
I mean, I
Yep.
love cats. Don't get me wrong.
I can do that at home.
Congratulations. You
Yeah, you
pet the
could.
cat.
I'm just imagining
You
like
get
my
80
cat,
Primo gems.
my cat sitting here as I'm like petting a cat on the TV as they're like meowing at me. No, that.
It's like, no, I gotta click
No.
the X button right
I
now.
guess it's like the kids
Yeah.
who get Nintendogs and play it next to like their actual dog, right? Like this is a thing, I guess.
Yeah,
To
that
be-
was. Yeah, that is
Look.
fair. That is what I did when I was younger.
Yeah, so did I. But look, I'll be honest. I was trying to show them what the dogs looked like on the screen. Sometimes I'm not kidding. I wanted them to learn. I'm like, that's
This
you,
dog
and it
listens
wasn't
to
you.
me.
Wait, so you would show your dog Nintendogs and be like, look what you
Yeah.
could be.
Yeah,
This
Oh, I
one
do that. I
listens
do-
to me. Why
I do that
can't you be
sometimes.
like him?
I don't do
that's
that. No, I was
awful.
never like that. I did that with my dog Shadow and Angel all the time. Like, you should look at this. And now my current dog.
Look at this.
Isn't it
Look at
crazy?
this. Look what you could be.
Isn't it crazy that
And
Keanu
I-
Reeves is
failure of a
voicing
dog.
one of your dogs? Like Keanu Reeves is your dog now?
I don't like that. Don't.
I
ever
heard
say
that too.
to me.
I also wanted to make the Keanu joke. Boy, I'm excited for Keanu Reeves.
That was my first. Gosh, I am excited too. No, that was my first dog, Shadow. He's no longer with us, and now I've kind of evolved as a person to where I now show my dogs Super Saiyan 3 for the first time and just see how they react to the
How
screaming.
do you like sit the dog on your lap and you like stare at it? Stare, pupper.
Oh yeah, no,
Will it
like
be him?
we'll be on the couch. And I kid you not. I don't even know where I put my phone, but I threw it somewhere. I'll like pull my phone up and just like put it up to their face and just full volume because it has to be full volume. You have to get the entire thing. And they'll like look at me like either that I'm insane or just
What? Yeah, you're insane. Yes.
it's fine. It's fine. They'll learn.
No.
They'll learn how to go Super Saiyan.
You know,
Just
there,
admitted that you stick it up to their face and go, watch this.
And they
That's
do watch it.
insane.
They like it.
there are
Well,
They
results for
like it.
dog Super Saiyan. Like there are. That was not an original thought somehow, so I think we're good.
Oh, my
there
goodness.
100% was somebody who thought of dog Super Saiyan.
Do I now try this with my dogs?
Yeah.
Report
I also
back.
have another noise.
Yeah.
So I played the Banjo Kazooie soundboard. Kazooie noises makes my dogs freak the piss out. Like they think like the world is ending and they just run throughout the entire room.
Well, when
I kid
Kazooie's
you
going,
not. Like brr, I can't do the noise. But
I really
yeah, no, they
enjoy
do
you
that.
making that noise, by the way. Do it again.
Yeah, please do it.
Rare needs to
Man.
get in touch, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
Some
Oh, God.
crisp audio.
yo, Craig
That is
Kirkhope,
good.
call me.
Great. Gosh,
Absolutely.
We'll see what happens.
I'll
man.
add him right now.
I'll bring I'll bring him to my non-existent basement.
New Banjo mode. Oh, sorry, I should not be reading the chat right now.
Oh, chat, because we stream this live. I think we already said that.
We do.
But hey,
Yeah, we do stream this live.
So as
so-
far as you know, dealing with sort of the core concept here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there
like-
seems to be we've either already got it on lock or we flail around miserably and go, man, what the hell?
And you,
kinda what I
some
got
now
from our
you can
answers.
be you can kind of be somewhere in the middle nowadays.
Yeah.
Oh man, because so I said
What about-
when I get into that mode of like, what am I gonna do? I like look at it like it's a one-use item in an RPG, where it's like, well, if I use it, I'll never have it again. So
Oh,
when do
dear.
I use it? And then I end up doing nothing. So don't
So you
be
find
like
yourself
me.
sitting there doing actually nothing. Like how often? I don't experience this too often, but I know that some people do. Where you will have some period of free time, say I don't know, 2 hours, and instead of doing anything, you'll just get into that sort of analysis paralysis and do nothing. Do you guys
Yeah.
experience that?
I do,
Constantly.
yeah,
So how
Yeah,
do
I
how
do.
do you, as anxious Rex, how do you survive?
It's not really being anxious. Like I'm not anxious about it. It's just my ADHD just hits where like I just can't focus. And I just like I'll look at my computer screen, have all these ideas, but like just not know how to form them correctly, if that makes any sense. Like I'll be like, oh, this seems like a really cool idea. How do I even edit that? Or like I'll think of like, oh, I really like this in this video game. How do I word that? And I'll just sit there and I just don't know how to do the thing. And it's so frustrating because it's like, I know what I want to do. I know the thing that I'm looking at in my head. how do I portray that? How do I get that out there? And it becomes so annoying. And that sometimes even happens with video games, is sometimes you're like, okay, I want to do the thing. I want to get to this new chapter. And then just like somehow I'm like walking around, like say in Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and I'm just like, I went the wrong way and now I'm going to do something completely different. And well, you know what? I should pick up these items instead because I want to transmute something and blah, blah, blah. And like, for me, it's just the ADHD where like something else pops in to like take my mindset away. Like that's what happens to me. Even with like, especially with editing videos, is I'll come up with a cool idea, spend like 2 hours trying to figure out how to do it, and then either not do it or spend the next 3 days figuring out how to do a 3-second thing. And it's annoying.
It feels like maybe, Sean, you just need to learn how to triage a little bit, right?
Yeah, that's my favorite Legend of Zelda.
Is that the Pokemon?
Isn't that like the first move you get when you... No, it's leafage. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Triage is when you... Okay, so... Imagine that you are in charge of an army, and this army has been in a battle, and now some of them are wounded, some are dying, and they're all in front of you, and you have to determine how you're going to spend your very finite amount of medical resources, right? So you can spend some resources on this guy, but he's probably going to die, or you can spend the same amount of resources on these 4 people, and they'll definitely live. How do you spend the resources? That's triage, right? You are determining where to send these resources so that they have the best effect, right? And that does mean sometimes you choose to let somebody you could save die.
Yeah.
But the resources aren't worth it. So it sounds like with you need to learn to do a little bit more triage in your everyday life, right?
Yeah.
You need to learn how to say, this particular thing that I'm editing isn't worth that amount of effort, no matter how cool it is.
Yeah, and that's something that like I've kind of done a lot better with, especially since because I've gone to therapy for a while. I ended up being a psychiatrist. It took me a very long time to actually get the help that I needed because boy, oh boy, do some people... Anyway, it doesn't matter. What matters is that I finally got the help that I needed to kind of help me be medicated, and they kind of worked with me to figure out these steps that like I've been kind of putting into place ever since the past couple months, and it's been like super helpful in my everyday life. And now seeing that come to fruition is very encouraging because it's like, wow, the paralysis... It still comes back every now and then, but now I know what to do next. I just never thought of it as, the word triage. So it's been, like I said, encouraging to see like that stuff change. And I've been doing that also with my hobbies as well. Because like I said, I have like 4 things written down that I want to do every day. And it's kind of advancing things that I want to do, whether that be making a game or making a video or what have you. Like it's been really, really nice. Won't lie.
I would say for me personally, the situations that I always find myself in that kind of analysis paralysis is when I know I have to, like, let's say leave for work in like an hour or 2.
Oh God!
And I could use that hour or 2 to like maybe play a game, maybe watch an episode of a show, do something like that. But I know in my brain that I'm going to have to stop it. So then I start looking at, okay, well, what can I do for like 45 minutes and then stop it and be comfortable in that situation. So then I start going on a quest to look for something like that. But then when I found that, then it's now time to leave.
Instead of just enjoying something in that time.
Yeah,
exactly. Instead of just picking something, I'm now looking through my backlog. I'm looking through what I need to do, what I want to do, instead of actually like picking one and doing it.
Right.
And like, that's just a thing that I feel like a lot of people have when they are presented with a limited amount of time, but it is a sizable amount of time. Like, it's not like you have 15 minutes to kill, so you have an hour and a half.
Yeah.
How do you spend that hour and a half when you know you have to leave?
Yeah, I dig. I think that this really does come down to like preparing yourself, maybe, right? Because like, if I didn't, not even necessarily discipline, just more like preparation for those moments, right? If you give yourself a list of games that you want to play, and it's like, this is a list I definitely want to play, right? And maybe it's 10 games, maybe it's 100, but it doesn't matter. It could be 2, right? These are the things that I know I definitely want to play. Then when your free time comes around, instead of saying, oh, well, what do I do? Just literally, 1 to 10, click 1, start it. It doesn't matter. You want to play it. And if you don't enjoy it, then again, be incredibly ruthless about it and say, this is crap.
And then move on to the next one.
Kicking it out, uninstalled, trash, and move on, right? Because what is the point in having this sort of experience that is waiting for you, right? And it is these games, these movies, these things that you want to do, they're waiting for you right now, right? Like they're out there, they're currently there, and you could experience them, and you're not, and you're holding off on not experiencing them out of fear that you won't experience them the right way.
Or
it's really wonky.
Or you have to stop it in the middle, but that's really not that much of an issue.
Right. I mean, progress. Yeah.
What is the perfect experience? What is the perfect way? What's your favorite game, Justin? Is it Genshin? Would you say Genshin is your favorite experience?
No.
Right?
Oh man, it'd probably be like just sitting down with like a good fighting game.
Okay, so there is no Street Fighter 2, right, that is perfectly played in an 8-hour block on a Saturday with nothing else to do.
Yeah.
Right? And would you deny yourself, having played, every Street Fighter game or every Blaze Blue or every, Guilty Gear, would you deny yourself having experienced those because you weren't able to find the perfect way to do that? I just don't get that one. I think that really you need to come up with these things you want to do and just do them.
Do it.
Yeah. And Shop and said just do it. Might have been on to some whoever that was.
Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah, I didn't mean to Shia LaBeouf. I mean, the thing is
raw dog reality.
Just raw dog reality. I mean,
raw dog reality. Yeah.
The mentality there isn't necessarily wrong, right? Like he's crazy.
It's not.
He's insane, but just do it. Just do it. Yeah, And the thing is if you limit it just a little bit, right? If you just take that infinite sea of content and media out there and you say, okay, but I don't actually give a flying donkey about ever seeing another zombie show, right? Then you just, I don't care. I'm not going to watch that. I don't care how good it is. It's off of my list and I'm moving on to the next thing.
Sounds like you're not watching The Walking Dead, Daryl and Carol.
God, in Paris.
Season 2.
I will not be watching that.
Yeah.
Strange.
Man, no, probably for the best. And this is coming from someone who liked. Well, let me phrase that. Liked The Walking Dead.
Let me change to past tense.
Yeah, please. Oh, yeah. I need to not cancel myself on this.
Oh no, I stopped watching after a certain point. I'm like, you guys deviated so much from the comics, and it's just bad. Well, graphic novel.
Why watch it, right? Like, why even?
Exactly. Yeah. Why waste your time with it? And a lot of the things that we've said are easier said than done, but it is really just a matter of, you gotta take the time that your busy life allows you and enjoy it to the fullest.
Yeah, that's it. Honestly, it's just creating habits. Like once you start getting those habits, like every single day, it just becomes a lot easier to say yes every day, because the more you say yes, the easier it gets. And it's just like, yeah, I can do this. Yeah, I can do this. Yeah, I can do this. And it's just easier each and every day. So,
and saying no is a lot easier than saying yes.
But something you shouldn't say no to is listening to the Crubcast every Friday when it comes out.
Yeah.
Don't cut us out. We need you so bad. You're all we have. We don't even have each other anymore.
Without you, I am nothing.
I cannot raw. Oh, never mind.
No. Speaking of raw dogging reality, we have a Patreon question of the week for only a couple bucks a month. If you look at our Patreon and say, I hate these people, I only want to give them a quarter, you can join the $2 tier USD and throw questions at us. Very kind, very nice. Get into our Discord. You can get it in any way at crub.org/join, but there's the pitch. We let this one fester for a few months, as you would if you were perhaps putting something into a crock pot. I don't know how I'm tying this together. From Chef Kilo comes our Patreon question of the week. Kilo asks, what is your go-to dish to bring to a potluck? We decided to massage that a little in a weird parasocial way and make it into what food would you just kind of bring to a cookout or gathering or something? Because we sat here and I was like, I've never been to a potluck. I don't know.
I've been to one and it was awful. I kid you not.
Well, you haven't been to my potluck where I bring.
What was awful about it? So I'm curious now.
Everything was pies. Like
Really everything.
Literally everything. Everyone just brought like different. I don't mean like dessert pies. I mean like food pie. Like someone made a lasagna pie.
Just make a lasagna.
I'm sorry. What the hell is a lasagna pie?
It's just lasagna in crust.
Yes, but like the crust
just make
was
a lasagna.
That doesn't make any sense. That's not a real thing.
That's actually what I bring to the potluck. No. When the function happens, I bring a lasagna pie.
The lasagna pie.
To be fair, this happened when I lived in Ohio, so.
Oh,
well, yeah, those people.
Yeah. So now it makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah. But what I would bring to an actual cookout is I probably just bring drinks. I like to cook every now and then, but I don't know. I bring drinks for people. That's what I would probably want to do. Just like, hey, what do you want to drink? Do you want anything alcoholic? Do you want this?
That's true. Every time you've ever hung out with me, you've always been like, what kind of beers do you want? And it's like, oh, thank you. That's very thoughtful of you.
Yeah. No, I like that answer, honestly. I'm going to steal it because I don't have an answer.
Everybody needs to have a drinks guy because someone will bring the food, someone will bring the drinks, and you all end up having a good time.
Yeah.
I miss being a bartender sometimes. Won't lie.
Yeah.
I bring the frozen fries personally. I just dump them out. Let the sun warm them up.
You're not even going to throw them in the oven for everybody. You're just going to throw them on a tray outside and just say, you know what? We got it.
The sun's free, bro. Like, why cook it?
I'm imagining you doing that, but like then picking up the ice in it and then putting it into the cooler.
Yeah, that's free water.
The fries. Yeah.
It's efficient. And what are we doing?
Oh my gosh. I don't
oh
like.
Oh my God.
Kilo has chimed in our chat and says he brings either ice cream cake or a baked ziti. Pretty good there. Justin, what do you bring?
Baked ziti is good. I've gotten very into baking goods.
Oh.
That's a very bad way of saying I like making cookies. No, I don't make bads.
Okay.
I like making cookies a lot. I found a recipe online to like make your own Tate's cookies. And if you haven't had Tate's cookies, they're the green little bag of cookies that are super thin, super crispy. And I like making those because you can make a really big batch of them for like not a lot of money, and everyone really likes them because Tate's cookies are the GOAT.
They are really good. Yeah. I'm definitely a dessert guy when it comes to, an event where I'm bringing food. Because I feel that, right, like, I don't know. I guess maybe I'm a little weird about it. I don't trust anybody else's cooking, really.
Which is fair.
I generally, like, boy, you go to that family event, right, and there's like a bowl there with foil on the top, and you open it up and there's just something red or white inside, and you're not really sure what this is. Do I really want to eat that?
And you ask around, and everybody's like, "Oh, I didn't bring that one."
Yeah, I didn't bring that. Who did? I don't know. And it's like, oh, okay. And then
so did you just show up here? Did someone just show up with a bowl of white stuff?
Right. And maybe there's some meatballs over in another thing. And it's like, I'm not really that hungry, guys. I think I'm okay, right?
It sounds like a Goosebumps like book, like.
But that's how it is at all these. I've been to too many events where somebody brings food, and it's always just like, I'll eat later. And so desserts are great because desserts are usually, little single type of things that you can just kind of pick up and it's yours. They're tasty. There's usually not like bowls with foil and white stuff in them, right? Like it's just like, here you go, some cookies. You can eat a cookie. The cookie's going to be a cookie, right? And if it's bad, if you pick up this cookie and you're like, delicious chocolate chip cookie, this is going to be excellent, and you bite into it and you go, oh, right? You can just throw out one cookie, and you're not just like throwing out a whole plate of food.
You can't do that because then you just have to suck it up at that point. Like your aunt, like, whatever's looking at you, and I can't even think of a nickname.
She's like, how do you like the cookies, Sean?
It's like, why don't you put in the mashed potatoes? Why don't you put in the mashed potatoes? Wait, you don't even live here. And then she like disintegrates into the background.
Dude,
that's where the bowl of white stuff came from.
Oh.
What?
Well, copy that one from Justin for later. That's good.
All right.
I think we saw
that's my answer.
Yeah, I appreciate that our potluck's going to be drinks a bunch of cookies and a bag of oral item frozen French fries.
I could go great value, but I want to be nice to my family or whatever.
Yeah, you gotta spoil us.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was gonna say something like a chicken tikka masala, because I like making chicken tikka masala and I make it pretty well. But dear God, no one's gonna trust that.
No, look, you would look at it and you'd be like, "What is it?" And
it's like chicken in an orange sauce. It's like
I'm just imagining Justin writing a little note like, "It's from Justin. It's good. I promise. You can have some." And just
and then nobody touches it.
No,
and then nobody touches it.
Just imagine. Just picture that you walk into a house and there's that thing, right? It's right a jar with some foil on top, and you look in and it's just orange chickeny type of stuff. And maybe it's kind of cold now because it's been.
Oh yeah.
You had to cook it and then drive it there.
That's what I'm saying.
Like it's not fresh.
And you're not eating just that. You usually comes with rice or something, and it's like that rice is cold.
Right, but it's not going to come with rice now. It's going to come with sweet potatoes because other people brought food.
Brought other things, yeah.
Yeah. No,
and it doesn't match.
I'm just not going to do it. I'll have a cookie or I'll go hungry.
What are you bringing then?
Cookies.
Okay.
I just said
like are you baking them or are you just like going to
that's a whole different thing. I have no problem if somebody goes to a Giant and picks up a thing of cookies. That's perfectly fine to me. I think that's completely fair. You do not have to be a cook.
Are you more okay with the Chips Ahoy or are you more okay with like the Kirkland clear?
Oh yeah, if you bring a bag of Chips Ahoy, that's not okay. I don't think that's acceptable. You can't just be like, here you go, I brought some Ritz crackers. Like, that's not acceptable.
Okay, but if it's like a football party, maybe, but like if you're outside cooking, no, don't, because that's gonna melt.
At least bring a fake platter, right? Like one of the things you can pull the plastic clamshell off of and be like, here you go. I couldn't, it's okay though.
You can't make them, but you know what? They're there.
They're fresh from the bakery, really.
Or worst case scenario, put it in a Ziploc bag. Like it's not gonna look pretty, but it's better than looking at the chips. You're gonna sit here and tell me that putting in a Ziploc bag versus a Chips Ahoy where you pull the thing off.
Because now I can
see because people are going to leave.
Now I can see it getting melted. Now I can see it getting melty and all coagulated together. Also, where did this mystery bag of cookies show up from?
Justin dropped a new word.
Of cookies. Oh, that's good.
You never heard of coagulated before?
That's heard of show notes. I think we solved potlucks and how to spend your time. The answer is buy cookies and spend more time doing what you want. I think that's the lesson for today, everyone, unless I missed something.
No, I dig.
Cool.
Watch the Crubcast more.
That's an episode of the Crubcast, which you should watch more. Thank you for listening. We post every Friday, 7 a.m. on audio, noon on YouTube. I've been Chris Meekness fan, Justin, Sean, Moriarty. It's been an honor to expose how little I have things together. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Yeah.
Bye, everybody. Bye.